All right, guys. Well, we have made it to the PLS Bend staging area where we're going to be doing some cleanup today on public lands, or just we're at a high school. We're basically going to do a quick staging. They'll give us a rundown on what we're going to be doing, but we're going to go out and get some public lands cleaned up today. Today is Public Land Day, so it's a great day to get out and do some good on the public lands.
Super weird the way he said it. I'm like, I don't have any room. And then I go get in my 4-door truck.
I also want to say thanks to Onyx Off-Road. They actually granted us a pretty sizable grant for our cleanup events.
Okay, so we're on our way out to the staging area where we're going to be working with teams. They broke us up into like 6 individual teams to clean. We're going to be in team 4. Got Megan with me here. She's riding in my van. She's getting some modifications done to hers to help it handle a little bit better. So she's with me today in the van. We're gonna do some, get some of this stuff cleaned up.
Just build a feeling right there and try to contain it a little bit. Right.
So you having an exciting day hanging out with me, babe?
Yes, a lot of fun.
All right, guys, so we're getting started here, and we're starting to get stuff cleaned up. Now, a lot of what we're seeing here in this particular spot where we're cleaning looks like somebody just came along with their household garbage and just threw it out instead of taking it to the dump, which is ridiculous, because if you saw one of my last videos, I talked about like the local dump going to the transfer station is only like 12 bucks. So it's not that much to go out and just dump your trash and not like come out and stuff it out on public land. So a lot of this trash, like I said, you know, some of it is from people coming out because this is a fairly local piece of national forest. And so some of the trash is from people just coming out and not wanting to spend the refuge fee, which is really disappointing because, quite honestly, like I said, we're just a few miles out of town, and the refuge for Bend is not that far away from where we're at. So they're basically driving further to come out here and dump stuff. But it's not just that, it's, you know, people actually going out and recreating, camping, hunting, fishing. For example, you know, I recently just, you know, the last place I camped with Daisy, there was some garbage in that camp and garbage left in the fire pit, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. So I walked around and I cleaned up that campsite and got it all cleaned up. Well, after I lost Daisy, a couple days later, just as a Hail Mary, I decided to go back to that camp spot because it was a few miles away from where we were at, but just in case somehow she found her way back and it was something familiar, I decided to go back and just double check it. And when I got there, after basically 5 days, 1 weekend of people probably coming up and camping, the fire pit was filled with garbage again, and cigarette butts and cans, and they left their empty pack of cigarettes sitting on one of the fire rocks around the campfire pit. But it just, you know, I just cleaned that side up, and then, you know, just within 1 weekend, someone came out and camped and left shit around the campfire. So, you know, we just really need to make sure that, you know, if you're going out to recreate, you know, one of the biggest things I really want to impose is campfire pits are not fire receptacles, okay? Or I mean, I'm sorry, campfire pits are fire receptacles. They're not garbage receptacles. So do not leave garbage behind in campfire pits. All right, so we're just kind of moving from spot to spot, cleaning up different little spots that have been marked. Now, one of the things that PLS Bend has been using is the Sons of Smoky app. Now, the Sons of Smoky app was created by the Sons of Smoky, which is a nonprofit for the Gambler 500. Those that are familiar with it, they do some like really crazy little races and stuff through the public lands with the idea of picking up trash on the way through. So that's another organization you can get to, but they've created through their nonprofit, the Sons of Smoky, an app that allows you to mark trash. So if you're out on public land and you find a big pile of trash, you can actually mark that trash, and then that way groups know, like this, like where there's problems, and they can go out and clean it. And then once the site is cleaned, you can actually remove that. They'll remove it off the app. So it's a great way if you're out recreating, doing something. If you see a problem area or problem spot, you can go onto the app, mark it on the app, and even if you don't have cell phone signal, it works because it will save it on your phone, and then as soon as you get signal, it'll send it up to the main servers and let everybody know that there's this spot so that hopefully it gets cleaned up. All right, guys, so here's another example of one of the big problems that we have here on public land, especially public land that is close to towns and cities, is you get people that fall on hard times and they come out with some ratty old trailer like this one here behind me, and they live in it for a time period, and then they, you know, something either gets better or they move on for some whatever reason, but they leave this and all their garbage that they had behind, and it just creates this sense that it's okay to add more, for more people to come out and use this space in that way. So when we have these cleanups, you know, a lot of times we get the permission to remove these, especially if they've been abandoned like this one. This one's obviously been abandoned. So that's really good. But, you know, it kind of brings me to a point, you know, like one of the things, you know, that I always kind of mentally struggle with a little bit is obviously living in my van. I live on public land 99% of the time, you know, that me and Megan are living on public land. But there's a little bit of difference between like homeless living on public land and like van lifers like Megan and I, in the fact that we don't ever do what me and Megan call homestead. We don't homestead a spot where we basically bring in a trailer, you know, like set up a bunch of stuff, leave garbage. You know, every time with our vans, if we stay on public land, we are self-contained inside our van. And when we leave a spot, we always leave it no trace. Like we don't leave stuff behind for other people to unsightly stuff that other people are going to have to pick up. And we don't stay in a spot. You know, most public land places have a 14-day limit. You're only really supposed to stay in a place 14 days. So, you know, when somebody does this and they stay for longer, you know, it really impacts, you know, other people's ability to go out and enjoy the public land. Now, you know, don't get me wrong, I definitely am understanding when people fall on hard times that it's nice to have the ability to go out to public land and utilize it. But just if you do fall in, you know, in that situation, just be aware and try to have as least impact on the public land as you possibly can.
Hey everyone, Brent here with Public Land Stewards. Today is our final cleanup of the year, September 24th. It's actually National Public Lands Appreciation Day. We are back out at China Hat. We have a bunch of sectors. We're cleaning about 10,000 acres of land right now today. We got about 140 volunteers came out. We have dumpsters all over. There's just dump trailers, trucks bringing a lot of trash. It's, you know, based off of misuse in the forest out, and then we're taking it to the landfill and getting rid of it. The other cool thing is, since this is our last event this year, is keep in mind October 1st, we're going to be doing a fundraising party at On Tap in Bend. It's a food cart area. That starts at 3 o'clock on that Saturday. And we're going to have, you know, if you've come to a cleanup or bought some raffle tickets, you get a free beer. Raffle tickets are $5 a piece. You can buy 5 for 20. All that money goes into helping us fund all of these events that we're going to be doing in 2023. We really want to ramp up our efforts and kind of spread out through the Deschutes National Forest around Central Oregon and even start getting into some BLM land. So come out, support us, donate some money, and enjoy some good beer, awesome raffle prizes, and should be a fun time.
All right, guys, so as you can see, we're getting this dumpster filled up. We got a bunch of tires and refrigerators and just garbage that we pulled off of public land today. And I know that many times it can just seem a little bit overwhelming and like nothing can be done and there's just no point. But the reality is, you know, I hope that you can see that through, you know, volunteers like the people that came out today to work with PLS Bend, that we can start making a difference. We can start cleaning these areas up and be an example for everybody to start seeing. And I think that's just the key right there, is continuing to be example. It may not be something that we see solved overnight, but the more that we see people caring, the more other people coming up and starting to utilize our public lands will also want to care. So hopefully, you know, we just keep plugging away at this and we can start, you know, keeping these lands cleaner and nicer to use, because, you know, these are multi-use lands and we all use them for different things, but in the end we should all come together and do what we can to clean them up. So anyways, we're kind of wrapping up for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you just, wherever you're at, see if there's a club, see if there's something that you can, you know, join to get together, because one of the things too is when we're out here cleaning like this in big groups, there's safety in numbers. So if there is homeless out here and maybe they have some, you know, mental problems, there is safety in numbers, and you can feel safe to come out and be a part of a solution towards keeping our public lands clean. So if you like this video, please do give it a like. Remember, like Brent said, you know, check October 1st, go to plsbend.org. Go, if you can go, have a great night, meet some great people, donate a little bit of cash flow to help them keep coming out here and working on our public lands and keeping things cleaned up. So see you guys again outside.